Right guys, week whizzes by. How are you at working and playing and making technology work for you? We all got technology, you just got to watch it, people with phones. But is it working for you or are you working for it? I like technology. I'm more and more aware of trying to use technology for my benefit rather than getting pulled in.
Yep.
Like anyone, I find myself reaching for my phone. But you've got a couple of apps that you really want to cover. But we want to really go today is spin it around and say, actually, this technology can be used. It's a tool. We can use it to our benefit. So, what do you got for us?
Yeah, exactly. Because we demonise technology so much. We say we need to switch off technology. We need to keep it away from us. And again, just like having junk food, there's moderation, and know that too much of it is going to potentially have a detrimental effect on our health.
Yeah.
Now, the first thing we've got app-wise is that tracking your food. People can keep a food diary, but then you happen to have a bit of paper with you, you happen to have a pen with you and write it all down. Something like Mike's Macros or MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
MyFitnessPal is amazing because it's got foods from all around the world, and you open it up, you scan a food if it's got a barcode, or you search for your food and you put in what you have in different meals, and it tells you how many calories you had, how much protein, fats, carbohydrates.
I like FitnessPal.
Different micronutrients as well. It tells you your fibre amounts, and you can set different goals. It can, as much as I don't really track exercise in it, you can track some sort of exercise so you see how many steps and calories. But it's great because you can do that, you can share with your friends, you can get accountable by sharing your diary. So I can see your food diary, you don't have to share it, you can see mine, and people can see it. And it's great because you can log your food easily.
Yeah, and it gives you a nice little breakdown, so it depends like anything, how much information you want. I'm not great with the calorie count element or that everything is 100%, but it certainly gives you a baseline to know where you're at. I quite like that you can change your macros, the protein and that, so you can look at the percentages, but also if you're really just trying to, I think it educates you as well, because what I like about suddenly you scan foods and you go, geez, has it got that much sugar, or has it got that much and that much? So it educates you away. Whether you use it long term or just as a short term is up to you, but I really like FitnessPal.
Yeah, it's very good because I think we've spoken about this in the past, where what seems boring to us, just like when people have their specialist topics, that something might seem so obvious to us, it might seem obvious to them, but it's not to the people that don't know.
No, I mean, especially with because you scan two products, which, I don't know, choose chicken soup, two products, and suddenly you realise this one is taking me further away from my goals, this one's actually moving towards, or you look at it and go, actually, I don't really need any of them.
Yeah.
I've now realised that I've done my workout, I've exercised, and I don't really want that because it's going to jeopardise with my goals. So I think it keeps you on track. I like it.
The next three apps, two of them are essentially the same thing, and one is Headspace, where we've spoken about mindfulness, we've spoken about meditation. Headspace is amazing because not just for if you're a beginner at meditating, but also if you're going down the advanced routes and you want to learn how to meditate with easy time frames. They do daily meditations from 2 minutes to 20 minutes, but also they have different courses. They have anxiety, there's emotional eating.
Yeah, I haven't used Headspace a lot. I've gone into it and looked at it and just seen some of the basic things. But I'm aware there's different levels.
There's sleep, there's fear of flying, there's athletic performance as well. If you're an athlete and you want to improve your performance and deal with pressure, it's amazing. It's
certainly one where a lot of people who I know have used it, and it's also a very spoken of one, so it's proving the test of time.
The other one on there with meditation is Honest Meditation. Now, with me, I'm not really kind of fluffy and fairy-like. As we know from some of the meditations.
Honest
meditation is good, and he goes in and he speaks the language that resonates with you if you're like me. And for 15-20 minutes, you select a time, it's 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes.
He's not a frustrated rapper, doesn't?
No.
There isn't an Eminem.
He goes in and he's like, let's breathe in breathe in confidence, breathe out BS. And
so that will appeal to the person who finds perhaps their introduction to meditation is a bit flowery, fluffy bunny, and that's
very
that classic.
Yeah, I love it, and it works for me. And everyone has a different personality. Honest meditation is great, and I think it's honest, like HNEST or something like that, and it really does resonate. And the first time I did it, I laughed, but it allowed me to relax. It really worked well. And going on from that one is one called Optimize, optimize.me. It's a paid service and it's online. It's a guy called Brian Johnson. I think it's $7.99 a month, or you can pay for a lifetime membership of $250, which if you use it every day, great. Now, Brian puts out things called plus ones every day. And they're 1, 2, 3 minute videos where different subjects, which will be health, will be productivity, brain function, focus, stoicism, philosophy, psychology, loads of different topics. And he gets experts in. He's also got on there philosopher's notes, which he will get a book and his team will read it. They'll pick out the best bits, and in 15 minutes they'll give you a summary. And also 101s, which are our classes. There's nutrition 101.
So a lot of content.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah. When we think of that, how much it is now, I've got a lifetime membership, and I think probably 7 or 8 months of the year, there's days when I've missed it when going away. Every single day I've done the plus one. I've listened to it, and I'm doing his course at the moment, which is Optimize Coach, which is a 300-day course. It's based around a lot of Spartan ideologies, given the 300-day side of things, and the stoicism side, and health, and how we can optimize ourselves. And it's all about this optimizing ourselves, the 1% at a time. What can we do today to improve ourselves 1% at a time?
So what's the...
It's optimize, and it's with a Z, being an American language there. Okay. Optimize with a Z. That's the app. I'd recommend going online to the website optimize.me. It's a great one. Moving on from that, I mentioned in my talk at the Yes Group about heart rate variability and how we can track that. Heart rate variability being, we want high heart rate variability. Yeah. We don't want the heart to be boom.
Just so that if you're not sure what heart rate variability is, it's the ability actually. A lot of people tend to think, I want my heart rate to be stable.
A metronome sort of thing.
It's actually, heart rate variability is the better it can fluctuate and recalibrate, the better, the stronger the healthier the heart.
You can be able to deal with
it basically is a line of tolerance of how well you can tolerance to stresses and bounce back.
Yeah.
So poor heart rate variability is like, I can't really cope with much stress. I'm brittle. Whereas a good heart rate variability is that I can adapt. Mm-hmm. So we want to. It's very, very popular. Come into more modern day healthcare, functional assessments to measure your health and your ability to function, rather than just I'll take your blood pressure and what's your pulse rate. Mm-hmm. That's very kind of old school as far as functional care. So heart rate variability is being used more and more.
I think a lot of Premiership football teams use it now, and we see stories in the paper that so and so has been dropped. And there was a story a few years back now, because Wayne Rooney's obviously retired, he's at Washington now, and when he was playing for Man United, that he was dropped, and it was actually he was showing red on his heart rate variability. Now we might seem that we are ready for the day, but then you do your heart rate variability and it says you're actually prone to more stress. Yeah. So doing a hard workout, you might not have the recovery abilities, and it actually makes you take longer to recover.
Yeah. They're predicting this person could be soon to crash and pick up an injury, or is going to give him a lighter workout today because he's still recovering from the weekend.
Is it measuring the heart rate, but to do with the parasympathetic?
Yeah, it's measuring the sympathetic parasympathetic system, and at that moment how well your body's going to adapt. So if it's showing signs of stress, you don't want to then go and give them a stressful workout.
Yeah. So we can use our phones, our technology, to have heart rate variability. You can use a heart rate monitor, or you can even use the camera on your phone. Elite HRV is one which is very well known, but I haven't really used that much. But Welltory, Welltory. Again, you can get the pro version. I use the free version, and it does, I think, like a 2-minute. I do it as part of my routine in the morning, just before I meditate. I hold my finger on the camera, take my reading, and it kind of tells you exactly where your nervous system is, where your stress levels, tolerance is. Really good, because you can also see your resting heart rate, and we don't want the resting heart rate to be as low as a lot of elite athletes have it. We still want to be...
Yeah, but the resting heart rate is a good baseline indicator, but it doesn't, in the modern day with so much availability of additional information, it doesn't really give people
just
enough
like
information.
And not knowing anything else about it, seeing the weight on the scales.
Yeah.
And
it's a snapshot, but it's in modern day science and scientific functional elements of things. It's giving you something, but not really that much information.
Yeah. The last one is something called Moment, and this is probably my top rated app for people at the moment, funnily enough, and it tells you what screen time you have on your phone. It tells you how many times you pick up your phone, and it kind of gamifies it, because it gets notifications. I had a notification when we got here that I picked up my phone 42 times today, and it tells you when you're getting close to the average of like 3 hours on your phone a day. And you then see, I get a notification on my watch and a notification on my phone to say you were down 45 minutes from yesterday, and then you think, oh, I was on at 2 hours 15 yesterday, I want to be on it less today, and you actually start thinking, should I be picking up my phone? Should I get that out, or am I just looking at it for no reason?
I think the iPhone updates now have a screen
you can see it on there, but I found with that, I don't know if you can set up notifications, but the way Moment does it, you can set up family time.
That's giving far more information.
Yeah.
But even that's becoming fairly standardised. Yeah. I think there's the pressure, consumer pressure is coming through into the manufacturers to start looking at. I had a patient the other day. She's teenager, and I was saying mention that, and I said it's been quite interesting. It suddenly pops up every week. You're 10% up or 10% down of last week, and it said it gives you how much average time. And I was quite shocked with mine, kind of like, oh, geez, do I use that much? And then I look at it and go, yeah, well, I suppose and why I use it, and it breaks it down.
Yeah, I think
so. I said to her, what's her average? And she was like, I use, she says, not that bad. She said 26 hours a week.
A whole day a week.
And I looked at it and went, yeah, but it's a whole day, but if in normal day, you've got to sleep somewhere. So it's actually equivalent to potentially 2 days.
Point, I say,
of just lying there on your phone all day.
Yeah.
And then she was totally, with that information, teenager, one day life, totally cool with that. So
it's the world that I think the generation has been brought up in.
So she said, well, what is yours? And I said, well, mine's like an hour and 15 a day.
Yeah.
But I'm with patients, so I can't use my phone during the day. So it's mainly in the evening or so. But it's also, it's not about the time. It depends if you're using it for productivity or,
I think it's
or
awareness
for work or something. It's different. But it's great information. I like that.
If you're aware of, doing the YouTube meditation, as we said about, that's registering that screen time. When I'm at the gym doing some cardio, I might be watching Netflix.
Yeah, and a lot of them give them more of a breakdown.
Yeah.
So you
so
can
it's
see
getting the breakdown and getting the average of it and trying to lower
how much time you're spending in entertainment versus actually productivity.
There are a couple of the ones that I didn't put on the list which I think are good for screen time. Things like f.lux on the computer. Most computers now have blue light filters, which will change with the sunset, but f.lux is a good app that you download. It puts your screen looks a bit more orangey, and you can just take the blue light out. I have blue light blocking glasses as well, which I wear most evenings, and it really helps the melatonin start to be released and allows you to get ready for bed. But another thing, which is one thing I have on Chrome on the laptop, is that I have a newsfeed eradicator. On Facebook, I don't see a newsfeed. I see a positive quote, and that helps me because one, I've got Moment on my phone. If I pick up my phone, it registers a pickup. Therefore, I don't want to go on my phone and start scrolling because it adds screen time.
Yeah.
Now, my productivity has gone through the roof when it comes to not having a news feed on my computer. You still get notifications, you can still go in groups and see things, but the specific news feed where people spend so long scrolling because there's never an end to it.
Yeah, I think because it also depends on, it's catch-22. You want to use technology, but then potentially it's feeding into more time that you want to spend with your family, but you're sitting there going, I'm just updating my fitness pal because I'm trying to just figure out what I had for lunch and that. So it's trying to find that happy medium. The other thing with all the technology, the apps, which perhaps may put some people off or public, is this element of paying for something versus free apps. But again, I think some of these things with using apps and technology, you've got things like YouTube, you've got things which you can use on pay for use or pay for view. But it's interesting that quite a few people quite happily will invest quite a bit on their Sky or their other subscriptions per month, but not on some things which are, seven. I'm going to check out that Optimize, because for that investment per month, it's a huge amount of information.
Talking about his following, doing this Optimize course, it's $1,000 and you can do it monthly. But he's had, I think at the last count was 1,100 people started the course 2 weeks ago.
Well, it shows you the power of technology.
Yeah, the following
as far as future trends and business opportunities of what it generates. So what apps are out there for you? What do you use? What doesn't work?
There's a tip with apps actually.
The phone is not a phone anymore. I still believe that somewhere down the line they maybe change the name of it, because it's really a handheld computer now.
It's funny when someone calls you, what the hell are they calling me for?
Yeah, my kids don't have phone. Only people, when teenagers who answer the phone and speak to them, it's usually their parents phoning them.
Yeah.
They don't phone each other, they text, or they're using even different apps. Because they.
Well, what I would suggest with apps is that on most phones you can put apps into folders.
Yeah.
The apps for social media, what I do with mine is that I put it 2 or 3 swipes, so it has to be a conscious effort to go on it. Now I'll swipe, there's the app, I have to go into the folder and get it. So a lot of things which unconsciously go. And also I don't want them all next to each other. To have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all these next to each other, because it's easy to switch out of one into the other.
It's interesting how the mind works, because I collect them and I put everything under social media in this one block, and I put either work or that, and then I put sport. So I consciously know that I'm going into different times. So this is the time now I'll catch up on sport, and this is the time when I'll do that.
I've deleted also, another thing I've done is deleted news apps, apart from sport. And I've got Sky Sports app and BBC Sport app, but news apps I've deleted. EDP, Evening News, the BBC News, I've deleted those, because news that sells is usually negative news. Yeah,
and it's usually with a spin, and it depends on where you want to how you want to follow, and they funnel you into different catchphrases. So
exactly.
Yeah, technology's not all bad. There's a lot of good stuff out there, a lot of good, podcasts, going for a walk, listening to podcasts, audiobooks we were mentioning. There's a lot. I like quite a few of the, I'm not a big reader, but I like content, and so I like some of the audiobooks where that's been content or someone else reads. And I listen to an audiobook when I'm out walking or so, or on my bike, or on my car. So and there's various things for that.
Audiobooks and on Audible. A tip that I've actually found, and it doesn't, from what I can see, it doesn't impact the author as well. From people that I know that have made audiobooks, they don't get fined for it. Now, if you go into Audible and you go into the help section, you can exchange your books.
Alright.
Therefore, if you're paying $7.99 for 1 credit a month, or however much you pay for 1, 2, 3 credits, most books you can go in and exchange. So when you're done with that book, hit exchange title, and you get a credit back, which is great.
You've also got audio books or so on Spotify. And some of them you've got classics, and also some of them you've got really the amateur who's doing something from themselves, maybe starting a fledgling career or so. So sometimes a bit like listening to new music. You know, it's a bit raw, a bit edgy, but it's actually quite interesting of seeing what's out there. So I don't think we need to, you know, shy away from technology. It's a tool. We can use it for a lot of good things. So let us know what you use out there. I mean, the app market is huge. So, you know, Ollie's mentioned a few, but it'd be great to know what else is out there and what you're using for. And so let us know, and you know, have a great week, and we'll catch you next week with the next topic, which we'll come up with, and perhaps give us some ideas of what you want us to cover. It'll be very interesting to know what there's out there. Right, thanks, have a good week.
Take care.
See you
Bye-bye.
then.